everybody, and welcome to another episode of Inside Battlefield. My name is Tom, community manager here at DICE, and today we're back to talk about Season 5 New Dawn. So let's get it out of the way first. Season 5 is releasing on June 7th, so something we're looking forward to a lot. With me today are Jaime and Alex, veterans from the podcast so far. Welcome back, guys. How are you doing?
Thank you so much.
I'm happy to join you in this moist and dark basement once again.
Yeah, the decoration is interesting.
It's very Swedish. There's a lot of neutral colors.
Yeah, it's like
but yeah, guys, glad to have you. But for folks who don't know you, could you please introduce yourselves again and what you do at DICE?
For sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Jaime. I'm a game designer at DICE, mainly focused on characters and gadgets.
And I'm Alexander Formoso. I attract complaints and I design weapons.
Fix your balancing, Alex. Come on, man. Cool. So throughout May, we talked a lot about quality of life changes coming to Season 5 before we actually announced Season 5. So for folks who missed that, before we dive into the actual new Season 5 content, I think we could start with a little bit of a quality of life recap of what we shared already. So Alex, let's start with you.
All right.
So we're making improvements for vault weapons. So the universal weapon skins. Can you tell us what we're doing there?
Well, since we talked about it in the past podcast, right? But like every portal weapon that we have moved into all of the warfare, what we call vault weapons, are going to have the complete selection of the universal skins available to them. And that selection is not only in all of warfare, but it will be also available in portal.
Which is awesome. More skins, and they're available in Portal and All Out Warfare.
I mean, it's good because the All Out Warfare weapons had a lot of customization to them, but the Vault weapons didn't. So now it feels really cool that you can do a lot of matching with your skins and so on.
Yep. Something the community requested a lot, so we're happy to make that available. It's coming in the Season 5 update. Then we are also adding All Out Warfare attachments for Vault weapons, which is another request. So the customization in terms of skins is something you just mentioned, but also how are we doing that with attachments? Yeah,
that was, as mentioned before, that was one of the biggest requests. And it was all about, like, when we released it initially, we thought that the idea of going for like nostalgic factor, keep them as they are in Portal, this is the original loadouts, that was going to be great. But in reality, like, the attachments, like the functionality of the attachments in All Out Warfare gives a lot of advantages to them versus the way they are set up in Portal. So adding all this functionality to them makes them like have a much better equal ground against the All Out Warfare weapons.
Awesome. And as a reminder, what does the rollout look like?
So in 5.0, the new season rollout, you're going to have only the assault rifles and the gold sniper magnum. Then in the next two patches, there will be 2 batches of more weapon archetypes coming.
Okay, so we're rolling it out during Season 5?
Yes, the entire roster will be done by Season 5.
Okay. And then over to some changes we're making to Dozer and Irish. To you, Jaime?
Yes. Regarding Dozer, the main goal was in order to increase his pick rate and policing the animations, the gameplay, the mobility, how satisfying it is to hit with the seal, use the seal on zip lines. And regarding Iris, was the goal was most about in order to ensure the Sentinel is not that OP and in order to improve the visual language or the visual readability of the Sentinel. Regarding Iris and the Sentinel, we are aware of the explosion spam. We are working on them from a different approach. But the main reason is in order to work on the Sentinel, it was because it was kind of OP, mostly used by vehicles camping in the hills and also by players, mostly in Breakthrough in the Defenders team. Like they could like accumulate a lot of interceptions, like 200, 300, etc. And that's not good. But just to clarify, if we place down 2 sentinels together and an enemy throws at us a grenade, only one sentinel will kick off. So once the first sentinel is on cooldown, the second one will be able to work properly.
So, and to confirm, you can, because we saw a lot of comments based on like the blog release, you can put down 2 sentinels.
Yes.
You don't only have the one.
Yeah, exactly. And even though one sentinel is going to have 7.5 cooldown seconds, the second one will be able to be working for 5 seconds. So actually, with 2 Sentinels, we will only have 2.5 seconds of cooldown.
Okay. Awesome. Another quality of life change that we're making during Season 5 is to squad management. So we're adding the ability to create, join squads, and play together with friends by making that easier for you. And then later during Season 5, we're also adding squad orders, which allow you to earn more XP rewards if you complete objectives together as a squad, which is something the community has asked for as well. And then finally, we talked about the vehicle loadout rework that we're doing. Jaime, can you give a quick recap there?
Yes, for the vehicles, we have made an overhaul, or we have basically check every vehicle loadout in order to make some tweaks, adjustments, in order to decrease all the explosion spam issue in the gameplay. So this is one of the approaches regarding the explosion spam. It is not going to be the only one, but we are just working on it gradually.
Yeah,
so
this is basically the first step into addressing the explosive spam, and it's really good that the vehicles that we consider transport, like the LATV4, won't be able to dish so many chaos.
I think that was the main offender that we noticed. That was one of the highest picked vehicles, but it also had access to explosives.
Yeah,
and it will no longer have access to explosives now. So that was a nice review of all the quality of life changes coming during Season 5. Now let's talk the new seasonal content. And like you're used to, a new season, of course, means a new battle pass. So to confirm, there's a whole load of items to unlock across 100 tiers of the free and premium battle pass for Season 5. And included are cosmetics, XP boosters, and the new premium seasonal boosters, alongside, of course, being able to unlock all the new hardware that's available this season. So, we talked about it a little bit before Season 5. You showed some concept art, but now we can fully show and talk about the map. So, Jaime, talk us through it.
Of course, yeah. I would like to, the first of all, we use the Sabot 311 as a reference. It's a map from Battlefield 4, so you're going to notice that a couple of areas are influenced by that map. For example, my 2 favorite flags are going to be are C1 and C2. Here we are going to notice that there is an abandoned factory, and then with a turbine in the middle is a really nice close quarter area. And in front of that building, we are going to find a warehouse, an army warehouse. Yeah, both buildings are looking at each other. And they will also they are also connected through an underground corridor or underground tunnel, and also through a footbridge on the roof in case we want to flank the enemy through different areas. Also, just to point out this one, there are beautiful graffitis and murals on the outside part of the warehouse, so feel free to take a look at those ones because they are really worth
screenshotting.
Yes.
I agree. They look cool. And I think some players have already picked up on it because I think we've shown something.
Yeah.
Or is that internally?
No.
Now I'm confused because I know that even internally folks picked out some of the artwork on the walls, which is really cool.
And a lot of screenshots, a lot of posing.
Yeah. And as in the name, reclaim, so it's the map is reclaimed by nature, and I think if you walk through it and you just look at the visuals, you look at the vegetation that stands out, and I think it feels very immersive to just walk in there and knowing that we took not experience. What am I saying? What's the word here? From Zavold, we took Inspiration. That's the word. Okay. Inspiration.
Yeah, and talking about reclaiming by the nature, that leads us to the flag A1, A2, where we are going to find a crashed train and some all destroyed tanks that basically all that area has been claimed by the nature. This also is going to, it's also inspired by Sabot. If we remember all those old tanks parked outside of the factory, we have those. We are going to find those vibes. And also on a personal note, I find these flags, A1 and A2, that they give me some Ardennes forest vibes because there are a couple of trees with all the snow and we are running across the forest. And also the destruction on the trees either by our explosions or the tanks, we will be able to witness a couple of cool battlefield moments with all the trees falling down and all the wood jumping around.
Are you really asking us to kill trees, bro? But yeah,
the map also has the stationary AA guns.
Yes,
which is
phalanx.
It's a fantastic addition, and later we have plans to like include them in more maps. So that's going to be great.
Yeah, so that's and something worth mentioning as well. So this map will be 64 players only.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a smaller map layout that we intentionally created for that experience.
Yes.
So you'll experience a lot of close quarters combat throughout a lot of the areas Jaime just mentioned, which I know a lot of players like. It's pretty exciting.
Look, I'm a shotgun guy, and they gave me like a small corridor underground, the passageway on the top, and 2 close quarter buildings. So it's fantastic. So it's a great carnage.
If you really like shotguns, there is even more, because there is one flag about one bunker, a bunker that is basically D1. So there are only 3 doors.
I know.
Small bunker, close quarter combat.
I know, it's a great shotgun map.
Yeah.
1 bunker, 3 doors. Nice.
And the last flag is E1, that it has a circular design. There are a couple of silos around that area, and it has a circular design. Basically, it's aimed for vehicle driving. It's a good layout for vehicle in order to play the cat and mouse game with infantry. So basically, the long story short is like every flag, it's providing and encouraging a different gameplay style. So we have room for, depending on what mood we have, and if we decide to spawn in any other flag, those flags are gonna encourage us for that type of experience.
Awesome. And then lastly, as soon as Season 5 goes live, there will be a 24/7 playlist available for Reclaimed, so you can dive straight into the new map and check it out. As usual for Conquest and Breakthrough. And again, as I mentioned, 64 players only. So hope, when you get your hands on the map, hope you will enjoy it.
Yes.
I think it's been very exciting for the team to create this one. And we're excited to just get it out there and have folks play it. Because we've known about it for quite a while, you know. It's always a long wait before folks get into their hands for us. New weapons. Alex, do you want to talk us through it?
Yeah. So we got 3 new weapons. I know you already saw a teaser from the image on the blog post, and I already saw the comments and people trying to guess which one's which, and yeah, you got them. So we have the Gewehr, the GEW, based on another weapon from Battlefield 3. This one instead, like, we decided to modernize it and grab like the latest version. It's a compact. So it's a mid-range, high rate of fire assault rifle. It has like a more difficult than the average recoil pattern, but it's super satisfying to use. It's very powerful. It feels really nice, and it is one of the assault rifles that we're gonna have to prove this new direction of like making them burst fire, not burst fire in the mechanics, but like bursting before they get very inaccurate at the mag dumping. So that's the first one, and it's I think it's a very popular weapon here in the studio. Then there is the XCE Barm sniper rifle. It's a super light, super agile, mobile, very accurate sniper rifle. It is basically sits on the same slot as the Gold Sniper Magnum kinda is, but it should be even more mobile, more quicker than the Gold. So it's very compact, and I think it looks phenomenal because it's very futuristic and so on. And finally, the crown jewel of the season, it's the BFP, which means big frame pistol and nothing else. Absolutely nothing else. And it's massive hand cannon, .50 Action Express. So it should basically evaporate people, turn them into a red mist at close combat.
Red mist, that's funny. We also, like when we did the weapons podcast earlier in May, or the Vault Weapons podcast, I think the tease was like, it has 50 in its name, and Like we kept reading the comments on Reddit to see.
Some people got it.
Some people got it.
Yeah.
Like they hoped it was coming back, and yes, returning fan favorite. So we're looking
With
forward
a cool name.
with a cool name. Yeah. So, what is your personal favorite?
No, definitely the BFP.
BFE.
Yeah.
Big
Frame pistol.
frame
Yes.
pistol.
Yeah. And
The F stands for frame.
no, but it's an actual thing, right? Like when the real version, when it was being developed, like way back then, one of the first experiments that they made was in a revolver, right? And it was a project called the BFR, like the big frame revolver. And they were trying like oversized ammo and try to check like how was the recoil in the hands of someone, especially in like such a small firearm and so on. So we just took inspiration from that prototype and went like, you know what, the big frame revolver, let's turn it into a big frame pistol.
Big frame pistol. BFP.
And I can't imagine what else could those 3 letters mean.
No,
Like
same.
I just don't.
No. Big frame pistol. What about you, Jaime? What's your favorite weapon?
Same. It's
Because
big
it's
frame
nostalgic,
pistol.
it's
It's
powerful, it just
iconic.
feels good, it's iconic.
the sound is really satisfying.
Feels good.
Yes.
Nice. Is there anything on the balance front that you want to mention, Alex?
Yes. This is the fun part for me because this is where I set myself on fire. So
He's turning to a red mist in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So, this is a good space for us to talk about the current state of weapons and what's coming next, right? Like, what are the next steps? So, with the weapons that we released in Season 4, there is the RM68. And we know the RM68 has a problem of performance. It's like too good, right? Even though the damage characteristics share a lot with the SFAR. So what we took a deep look into it. And one of the words that kept appearing everywhere is that it was too beamy, right? And that means that it's too accurate, that it doesn't lose accuracy as you empty your magazine on targets. And even if you're shooting, it's very easy to aim. So you can like mow down people at very long distances. So the maps got adapted, like the maps got a lot of cover passes and the combat distances got shorter, but the weapon performance didn't, right? So weapons in general, have been tuned by much larger combat distances than they are right now. So in Season 5, beginning with the assault rifles, and the assault rifles are both the Vault weapon assault rifles that are getting the new attachments and the assault rifles currently available in Allied Warfare. All of them will have dispersion behavior completely different, like revamped dispersion behavior. With this, I mean, yes, it is an overall nerf for all assault rifles. And I know this is like extremely scared for me to say, like, oh yeah, I'm just blanket nerfing all the assault rifles. So first, to just like ease your concerns, it's only assault rifles. Like we're not touching sniper rifles, we're not touching DMRs, we're not touching SMGs. And this is only happening with assault rifles on launch. And we will tweak in a very short delay of time after launch based on your behavior, on your feedback, right? Like if it was too much, if it was too little, if some things have to change. So the change we're doing, it's aimed at increasing how inaccurate the weapons get when you dump your magazine. Like how big is the inaccuracy and how quickly you get to that point by dumping your magazine. So the result is going to be around 15 to 20% worst accuracy, the more deviation, like 20% more deviation.
But only if you spray.
Exactly,
right?
but only by holding down the trigger, right? And that maximum point is going to be reached at around half of the magazine, right? So the point is, you're not going to be able to dump 30 bullets on a 30-round magazine and still remain accurate to the end.
Especially at distance.
Especially at distances, right? So we're looking at, sure, in short range, like 10, 20, 25 meters is going to be pretty much same-ish. But past that, you're going to see like a big drop in performance. Damages will be adjusted later because some weapons will suffer from a little bit, like some weapon loadouts, especially the ones that include shorter barrel or CQB ammo, they will tend to have like a drop in performance like more aggressive than the others. But in general, what you will see is that if you, instead of dumping your 30 rounds into a target that it's moving, if instead you do short 5 to 10 bullets, 5 to 8 bullets bursts, you're going to keep very accurate. You're going to basically keep the same performance as it is right now. And once you stop shooting, that inaccuracy recovers very fast. So the time between those bursts that you're going to have to do is going to be very short. You are not going to have to wait a lot for your weapon to recover. So that's the change that is coming to the assault rifles. And based on your feedback, they will be tweaked. And based on the feedback upon the tweaks, it's going to be the guideline of what's going to happen to the SMGs, LMGs, and DMRs later on, later on in like 5.1, 5.2, etc.
Okay. So to summarize, changes to assault rifles coming with the Season 5 update.
Mm-hmm.
In the following update, which is like the mini update that we internally call the quality of life updates, we are standing by to make further tweaks based on the feedback we receive when Season 5 goes live. And based on that feedback, we are ready to stand by and make further changes to SMGs, snipers, and all the other weapons.
Correct. Okay. And we have high level of confidence in the change, as in this is something that needs to happen. Like
we've seen a lot of feedback that it's not fun if you're on the other hand of like an assault rifle that just empties a mag with full accuracy. So it's a change that's warranted, but you can still have the same accuracy if you don't spray your entire magazine. Just be conscious about how you fire your weapon.
Correct. And this is both because the maps change, but weapons didn't.
Yep.
And because weapon performance needs to change to match that.
Okay. Alex, thank you. That was a good overview. So folks, just, let us know how it feels once Season 5 goes live. And we're standing by to make further changes if necessary. Which brings us to the new gadgets for the season. Jaime, you're the gadget guy now. Let's go.
Yes, gadgets for Season 5. There are going to be three new grenades and one rocket launcher. Regarding the grenade, the first one is going to be the anti-tank grenade. It's going to be only exclusive for the engineer class. The longest story short is like it's going to detonate on impact when hitting an enemy vehicle. The second grenade is the spring grenade. This is going to be available for all the classes. Basically, it's a grenade like it's going to jump after landing on the ground. Then it will detonate once it has reached maximum height around the enemy soldier head. However, prone. There is a reference to prone. This is going to be like...
I was going to make a joke about prone.
Easter egg in its podcast. Like, if we prone, and if we manage to anticipate the grenade jump and then we go prone, we will be able to reduce the grenade damage by a 10%. 10%.
Because it's not right next to your head.
Yeah, exactly. Which makes it... Otherwise, this grenade is going to be a one-shot.
Yep, okay.
Because it's dealing 100 damage.
So if you see one and you go prone, you might have a chance of getting away.
Yeah, decreasing 10% of damage. You still will get some damage. And if we crouch, that crouching is not going to do anything in order to save our lives. So.
Because you're technically still kind of looking at it in the face. Okay.
And the last grenade is the mini grenade. Also is going to be available for all the classes. And this is similar to a regular fragmentation grenade, but it's going to be smaller. It's going to deal less damage, but we can throw it farther away. And each time we deploy, we will be carrying 3 mini grenades in our soldier loadout. And regarding the rocket launcher, we are bringing back the RPG.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, has been moved from, it was available in Portal. Right now it's also available in All Out Warfare. We have also tuned a little bit some of its parameters like the speed and the damage in order to sit in line with all-out warfare rocket launchers and weapons.
For the RPG, can we give a little bit of backstory here? Because we showed it in, I believe it was the Season 4 trailer, and we didn't really intend for it to come to all-out warfare at that point, but like a lot of folks pointed it out, and it's like, hey, that's cool. And it's like, you know what? That is cool. Let's give it to folks. So that's why we're bringing it over. So based on some player feedback there, pretty excited about that.
Yeah. And as an extra section for gadgets, I would like to point out 3 new changes in Season 5.0. The first one is like next time we use Casper recon drone, and when we ADS or aim down sight, we are going to notice that now Casper recon drone has a thermal vision in the drone. Yeah. Also, we have removed Sundance anti-armor grenade, basically because it had a poor readability of its max range, and also from the helicopter's point of view, it was a little bit confusing because it could like be interpreted as a missile or of a grenade. It was a little bit confused, and then some vehicle players, helicopter players, they will use their flares or their countermeasures in order to stop this grenade. So right now, Sundance will only have the scatter grenade. And the Recon class now has access to the concussion grenade. So these are the 3 extra notes on gadgets.
Okay.
And
Further quality of life changes, improvements for gadgets.
Yeah.
And some other things worth mentioning is we're adding thermals to vehicles. So some vehicles will now have thermal optics available.
Mhm.
So you have to choose on the weapon station between like optical zoom or
Yeah.
thermal, which is something players asked for. We're also decoupling the aiming from turning tanks, so it's easier to still control your vehicle while moving your turret around, which is
awesome.
another feedback item. I think we skipped over jets, but jets are getting rocket pods.
Rocket pods, yeah.
Yes, true.
Which is also pretty cool, which players asked for. And we've made some camera improvements, so they just feel better to fly. And you can now look backwards with the camera while flying. We turn that back on again as well. So I think for this season, there's just a ton of quality of life improvements. And I want to call out again that we really went out there and looked within the community about things that they wanted us to change. And a lot of that is what you're seeing in Season 5. For example, the full vehicle loadout rework is mainly based on community feedback. The RPG that we're bringing back, something that the players want. Like one of the weapons is a returning fan favorite, the BFP. And like even the map is inspired by some of our
Sabot
previous fan favorite maps as well. So that's...
And the 64 player limit.
Yeah, 64 player limit. So folks, like we listened to your feedback and we sat down as a team and solved for Season 5 what improvements can we make, what would players really like to have. So I'm very excited personally to have you get your hands on it, which is on June 7. And again, to remind you, update 5.0 goes live at 8 UTC, and then the season progression itself goes live later that day at 12 UTC. And
Is this the time
of the cookie.
for the cookie?
Almost. I wanted to mention one more thing. It's not prone, Jaime, but in Season 5, we are adding the last map reworks
Oh, yeah.
in
Hourglass.
Hourglass. So that means during the season, you will get the reworked version of Hourglass in your hands, which is much improved. Like, we don't want to dive too much into it today.
It's better to let them discover it.
Yeah, like we'll show you some more footage of that later. But it's with this, all launch maps are reworked again based on your feedback. So let us know how it feels once you get your hands on it, and that means cookie time.
Now,
So this is also a returning fan favorite cookie, or not. This is the moisture sucking cookie that it's the.
Where is the water?
We don't have water here. Oh, we're screwed, man. So the Dromar cookie. So that was the live unboxing. Take a cookie. They look so innocent, but they.
Yeah, Moisture Soccer 5000.
Yeah.
It's insane.
So yeah. Okay. here
And
we go.
it's funny because they are like 90% sugar, right? So it's like where is all the water going on them?
What was the lore behind this cookie again? I can't remember.
We knew that.
Yeah, neither do I. Feels like biting sand.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It's sugar, but
See, it's like sweet sand.
This is like what you want sand to taste like, but sand doesn't taste
Yeah.
like this.
yeah, you like cotton candy, but with
Yeah.
extra sand and sugar.
So I have mixed feelings about the cookie,
Yeah, totally.
but it was tasty. Like, and I guess that's all that matters. So, folks, that's all we have for you today. So, Season 5 New Dawn is launching on June 7. We're looking forward to getting it into your hands. Thanks for being here with us today, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.